Good evening, and welcome to the Sports Empire. This is an exclusive episode of Freddie Facts. I know I was just live about an hour ago, but this is an exclusive episode. I'm joined by my brother, one of my good friends, Melvin Wall. What's going on, Mel?
What's going on, Fred, man? I'm good, man.
Hey, I just had to come on here, man, because I don't get the opportunity to educate people, my brothers, often, and I have the opportunity to educate you.
All right, let's go, man.
Yeah.
I don't mind a little school. That's good.
Hey, but one good thing I will say is that you got one thing right. You have the right team hat on. I will say that.
Oh yeah,
You look like you know. So I might not have to school you too much.
oh yeah. I'm
Um,
not I'm not a fan. I just like the color.
okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's strike one right there. uh, um, man, we've been watching this NBA season unravel all year long. To me, there's not no uncut favorite. We've seen, in years back where you can go throughout each playoff matchup and say, okay, this round they're going to win. They're the better team. This round they're going to win. But right now, it's really about matchup. I mean, we're being honest. But who do you have coming out the West and who do you have coming out the East? First off, please let the people know what you do and where they can find your content and all that good stuff.
Man Down Sports, man. Give us a sub on YouTube, man. Check out our Facebook group. Just type in Man Down Sports and Facebook or YouTube. Give us a sub. But for the East, let's start with the East. You got some teams at top. You got Milwaukee, you got Boston number 2, and you got Philly number 3. Um, Starting with number 3 at Philly, and you got Joel Embiid, who I like a whole lot. His only question marks in the past have been his health and his conditioning. He's had great seasons, and then he get in the playoffs, and it's always something where he's banged up. Whether it's his face last year, he broke his face last year. Then he's had other issues with his feet, things of that nature. And then when he first got in the playoffs, he didn't even look like he was in shape, right? So
Mhm.
he had those things to clear up. I don't have those question marks for Embiid anymore. He's gave us a whole full season this year, and really kind of last year as well, showing that he could be in shape and showing that he can finish a full season and come into the playoffs. So I don't have question marks there, but I got question marks with James Harden. I just don't believe in James Harden. Um, uh, After his injury that he had in Brooklyn, he just hasn't been the same. So, and then he's somewhat of, I wouldn't say a choke artist, but he's somewhat of a not a big time playoff performer. So I just don't believe in him. So it's hard. It's hard for me to pick Philly. Of course, Boston got there last year, but now they got the new coach. There's something missing with them, so they can be had. But then you got Milwaukee. I don't have that many question marks for Milwaukee. They got the defense. They got the huge lineup of Lopez and Giannis, and sometimes Bobby Portis if they want to play all three of them together. Drew Holiday has shown that what he can do. Middleton is getting his health back, and they got a good supporting cast coming off the bench. So Milwaukee looks really tough. If I had to pick, I would pick Milwaukee coming out of the East, and then the West. It's just the West is very interesting. The same question marks I have with James Harden, I have for everybody on Denver's team. So I'm not looking at them as a number one seed that's going to go in there and actually outplay everybody. Same thing with Memphis. They're a young team; they can be had. And then everything else is question marks, whether it's health or whether it's Phoenix Suns. They just got Kevin Durant, and their lineup was a little bit depleted because they traded pieces to get Kevin Durant. They might be a year away. Even if the Dallas Mavericks get in, they don't have enough to do anything getting in there. So and then the Lakers is I like the way they're playing. They're real tough. So the Lakers might surprise a lot of people. Warriors are still dangerous as well. But if I had to pick for the West, someone to come out of the West, man, it's tough, man. I even forgot about the Clippers. I can't pick nobody out of the West, to be honest with you. But I would say, and I wouldn't bet my money on it, but I'm thinking Phoenix probably could do it, but it's gonna take magic, because they trying to put something together mid-season, and it's just gonna be real hard. But I think Phoenix could be dangerous. I think the Lakers could be dangerous, and maybe even the Clippers as well. But Denver and Memphis Grizzlies, they're pretenders.
Man, you made a lot of great points. I'm not going to sit here and say, that you're absolutely wrong, but you made a lot of great points, especially in the East. I don't believe in Philly, especially with Doc Rivers as a coach. Will he make adjustments when things get tight? He haven't in the past. So we're going to assume that he's going to do the same thing, the same way Doc, make decisions. The same reason why a lot of Philadelphia fans want him out of Philadelphia. Boston, man, I'm gonna say one thing about Boston. It sucks to say this because I'm a Laker fan. Boston is a type of team that I believe is hungry. They want to be back in that, championship round to prove that that we can actually win. We've seen another version of Jason Tatum, but also by them adding Brogdon to that roster, a true point guard, that frees up Marcus Smart from his responsibility where he can be that pest, that on-ball defender, that guy that can be that 3-and-D guy. It brought a whole nother layer to that team. But you can't sleep on Milwaukee because they're battle-tested. Be honest, in my opinion, should be in that MVP conversation. I just think people don't want to put him there because, we've seen you before. He better start getting that LeBron James treatment where we're going to expect that from you every year. Chris Middleton, a guy that haven't even played, most of the season. Drew Holiday dropped 51 other night. I mean, straight baller. And I think it's time to put him in one of those best point guards of the league conversation, at least in that top 6, top 7 conversation. He's big to that Milwaukee team. They play defense. They play great on offense. Giannis is a beast. So I would have to lean more towards Milwaukee. But like you said in the West, man, I don't even have Phoenix going to the finals just because you get rid of your best defensive player, Mikal Bridges. We left Cam Johnson leave. You let a lot of pieces of that team leave where, to me, it's not really a big 4. It's more of a big 3. It's more of KD, Booker, and Ayton. And then my question has always been, where does DeAndre Ayton fit in that mix? Let's not forget, not too long ago, him and Monty Williams was not seeing eye to eye. But now that you add a Kevin Durant, who's about to come in there, and he's going to take about 15, 20 shots a game. That's just period. And D-Book. D-Book is a beast. He's a beast. He's a killer, bro. So he's going to get his shots. Will DeAndre Ayton sacrifice to being a traditional big man? What will Chris Paul look like in the playoffs as well? Because the same thing you said about James Harden can go for Chris Paul as well. So where would he be at? Because they're going to need something from CP3 to help them go to that next level. And I'm not too sure that, there's a reason why Phoenix was thinking about trading him. There's a reason why his name was brought up in those reports because they know the end of CP3 is very near. And
Yeah, I mean, his name was brought up in them trades probably because they was about to get Kyrie. I think they was gonna trade him for Kyrie before everything went down. But CP3 is in a little different situation than James Harden because James Harden is asked to be the number two behind Embiid, so that's what 1-2 punch. But the 1-2 punch in Phoenix is KD and Booker. So CP3 can set the table up, really set the table up, and they only need 10 to 12 points from him at opportune times. But if Harden and Embiid and Philly want to go somewhere, they're gonna need Harden to give them about 24 a game. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna need a 1-2 punch from Embiid and Harden. And I don't think Harden got that in him on a consistent basis anymore. Unless he's ball hogging and doing a bunch of ISO, which they're not doing in Philly. So yeah, a little bit different. I think Phoenix, but you're right. Phoenix might have a tough time getting there. I think next year will be better once Kyrie shows up and Chris Paul restructure his contract and comes out the bench, and then Sam Cassell role when he played his last year in Boston. I think Sam
whoa,
Cassell had a perfect situation in Boston with Rondo being a young blood running the point, setting the table, and then Sam Cassell could just come in and be a mid range killer. That's probably what you go see in Phoenix next year once Kyrie show up.
wait. Did I just hear that you predicted that Kyrie Irving's coming to Phoenix
Yeah. He gonna be in Phoenix.
and Chris Paul's gonna come off the bench?
He gonna restructure his contract and he's gonna come off the bench. Yeah, I mean he's gonna be what 38, 39 next year.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm kind of questioning we'll talk about Kyrie in a minute, but I'm kind of questioning will any team even pick this brother up? I
I
mean,
mean, there is a chance that he could be blackballed out of the league at the ripe age of 31. They did it to Stephon Marbury. If they want you out of the league, they want you out of the league. I mean, you see right now, DeMarcus Cousins can't get a job,
yeah,
and he got a lot of meat on the bone left.
and he played good last year as
Yeah,
a
he did.
backup.
Yeah. Carmelo can't get a job, and he's still in great shape, in better shape than a lot of people his age.
Hmm.
And Dwight can't get a job. So I mean, once they're done with you, they can be done with you. So it's possible that the owners could collude and be like, yeah, we're done with this guy. Nobody gives him an opportunity. However, it's also possible that he still get an opportunity, and it comes in the form of someone like Kevin Durant telling that new owner in Phoenix that I'm gonna tell you everything that went down in Brooklyn, and it wasn't Kyrie's really his issue, and maybe that owner buy into it and bring Kyrie in. I think that's possible too.
Man, do you know how much drama that would bring? Like, do you know how much news that would bring to the sports media, to the NBA? Like, bruh. But we'll talk about Kyrie in a minute. But I'm gonna tell you my favorite in the West, and I'm gonna tell you Memphis have flaws too. Um, in the fast break, they're lethal. You know, a John Moran coming down there. I mean, you can't stop him in the open court. You just can't. But when it comes to that half court, I kind of, Brooks, he talks a lot of talk, but it's kind of where, okay, you hit or miss, when you cold and he's cold, he's cold. It's really John Moran and Desmond Bain, really. And without Steven Adams holding up the paint, I'm like, and then they already lost Brandon Clark already. Like, I'm
Yeah,
looking like, where's you guys' depth at? I mean, you got Jaron Jackson Jr., but what happens? He pick up 3 or 4 fouls in the first half, which we've seen before,
yeah,
especially if you're going against a bigger team. Like the Nuggets or the Lakers with Anthony Davis, whatever. I kind of, they have question marks to me. Denver, I don't think nobody really afraid of Denver in the West. That's just my opinion. I believe the Lakers. I believe the Lakers should want to match up with the Denver Nuggets the first round because I just don't see Nikola Jokic having his way with Anthony Davis guarding him. I just, we've seen that story before in the playoffs.
yeah,
And Jamal Murray, he's nice, he's a good player, but I believe him and D'Angelo will match whatever they do, or if not LeBron. The Lakers play too much defense, in my opinion, versus, in the West. So I really, man, I hate to say it, bro, but I really think the Lakers, and I think this is why LeBron came back so early, It's because he see, okay, there's still an opportunity. There's still a chance that we can sneak up in there and we can draw blood. But I'm also tell you, man, that you cannot sleep on Golden State.
Can't sleep
People,
on Golden State for sure. That's for sure.
you cannot sleep. Hey, man,
They heat up real quick.
you talking about people that's battle tested?
Yeah.
They are battle tested. They
Yeah.
are made for these moments. Like they know what they're doing. Like I believe that they can wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? Let's go on a run. Let's win a championship. And they will go out there and, and just, I mean, they run their system better than anybody else. They have a system that is hard to guard that I don't think anybody have really figured that out yet. They have a really great coach. They have a bench. They have what it takes to win. They have a roster that can win a championship. And don't let Andrew Wiggins come back. Cause let's not forget, he was a big factor to that team winning the championship this past season as well. So,
sure.
It's really just question marks on both ends that you really just don't know who's going to win. But man, it's a good time to be a sports fan, in my opinion. Like this is the best time to be a basketball fan because
I tell you what, though, one of these teams is go get in through the play-in. It's go be a number 8 seed, and they go face off with Denver in the first round. And Denver go have their hands full, man, because right now I want to say Dallas they out of the play-in. They at 11. I think 10 is the Lakers, or are they 9?
No, the Lakers 8th right now, I believe.
Lakers 8. Okay, and then where's Golden State?
I believe they're 6. I'm about to pull it right now. So you have Golden State 6, Minnesota 7, Lakers 8, Pelicans 9, and OKC 10. Hey, and if you the Pelicans, don't let Zion come back and he's in shape. He's ready to ball. Because that adds a whole nother dynamic to it.
I think Denver can beat the Pelicans or OKC. However, if something does happen and somehow the Lakers end up in that number 8 spot, Denver's not getting past the Lakers, and they better thank the Lord and hope God that Golden State don't get in that 8 spot. Yeah, Denver gonna be dog food in that first round. Whenever Denver see LA or Golden State, they're gonna be dog food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So let me ask you a question. I'm surprised the media is not talking. Well, I know why the media is not talking about this. A few weeks ago, Shams, who's a respectful NBA insider, came out and said, "Oh, LeBron James is ramping it up. He had a evaluation today. He's gonna come like his target date is like the last 3 games of the season." And then right after that, LeBron sent out that tweet. And then Saturday night, I believe they said he was doubtful. Then Sunday morning, they said he was questionable. And then they said it's a game time decision. And then he's available. But to me, that is a big, I believe that hurt the media. Because now it's like, it sends a statement that like, yo, you're not dictating what's going on over here. Or to me, it seems like that was a slap to in the face of the media. Do you feel the same way, or do you see something different on that end? Like I don't know. It just feel awkward to me.
No, there's a lot of that going on now. Now that players use their platforms to speak, and people use their Twitter accounts and whatever they want, because they're happening in football. They come out and say, "Hey, Odell Beckham Jr. was asking everybody for $20 million a year," and Odell came out and like, "I never said that." Same thing with Lamar Jackson. Everybody come out and be like, "Hey, he got this non-authorized agent speaking for him, and he's saying he's never spoke on my behalf." Right? So it's just that quick. And that's always been a problem in the media, where the media are trying to break these stories and trying to be an insider and trying to get this information out. Well, a lot of times, just being a human, I think that they're what? Let me just say this. I heard this through the grapevine. I don't even know what source said this, but a guy that I know and trust said that he heard it. And okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there, and they put it out there. I mean, look at Chris Bouchard. I think he got in a lot of trouble because he reported Kawhi. I know for a fact Kawhi is going to LA. Is the Lakers number 1, and I can't remember Toronto number 2, and he said the Clippers not even in the conversation. And then here it comes 2 days later. He said, I'm going to the Clippers. And Kawhi said, I've never spoken to anybody about where I'm going. I don't know where Chris Broussard got this report from. So the media, they got to stop doing it. They got to have some type of integrity and some type of journalistic responsibility, and just stop throwing stuff out there and hoping it stick just because it sound good. You get what I'm saying? And, I get tired of that, and I think the players get tired of that. And before, they didn't have an outlet to come out and call these people out, but now they are. And they don't like it. And that's another reason why the media don't like Kevin Durant that much, because as soon as he sees something false come out, or something stupid come out, he's right there on Twitter saying that's false, that's dumb.
And we even seen it last year with Tom Brady, coming out saying, he retired, and Tom Brady, like, yo, you're not choosing my narrative. If I retire, you're gonna hear from me.
Even Stephen A tried to do that with Kyrie, where he was like, look, I've spoken to half of the GMs, and none of these GMs say that they would trade for Kyrie. And as soon as Kyrie put that trade request out there, he gets traded to Dallas real quick, and then it comes out that there was 6-7 teams that was interested. Made Stephen A. Smith look like an idiot, so, and a liar.
Right. No, most definitely. Like, I'm like, okay. And it's just, I just feel like it's a bad look, especially for people that's not really diving in it deep or looking into it deep. They're like, okay. But last topic, I want to talk about Kyrie Irving with you.
Yeah.
We seen the downfall between him and Dallas. And it's falling quick. It's falling like, hey, it's spinning. It is spinning. Who do you blame more on the reason why Dallas is falling? Do you blame that on Luka, Kyrie, or Jason Kidd, or somebody else?
I explained this on my show this morning in great detail. So you can catch more in depth on that on the Man Down Sports page. However, the issue with Dallas has always been the play style that they've have adopted, which is a Luka centric, high pick and roll, ISO, 5-man out offense that centers around Luka, and Luka has the ball probably 18 seconds out of every shot clock, and probably dribbles the ball probably 12 to 18 times before he even get to a high percentage shot. And then if he does give it up, that pass, the person, only thing they got an opportunity to do is catch and shoot. So that offense has always been an issue. That's the same offense that Westbrook ran when he averaged a triple-double in OKC. It's the same offense that Harden ran in Houston where he won his MVP. And it's the same offense that LeBron was running. However, LeBron was able to make it work because, number one, LeBron is a freaking machine. Number two, LeBron actually played defense back then, right? And then number three, in order for him to win a ring, he had to form a super team to make that offense work. That offense is so elementary. And when you compare it to something like San Antonio or Golden State or the Bulls triangle offense, high pick and roll with 5-man out is so elementary. Only person who was able to make it work was LeBron, but he had to do it with a super team. So I don't recommend anybody run that offense, and that's what they're doing in Dallas. So that was the problem before Kyrie even got there. Now that Kyrie is there, it shows up more because they're trying to move away from their offense. And right now, Luka, who has been on that high usage drug so long, is having withdrawal symptoms from it, and that's why he's unhappy. He can't let go of that high usage offense and move into a more sophisticated offense. And that's the growing pace that you're seeing happen right in front of our eyes. Now, Kyrie Irving is going to get a lot of blame for it, because that's obvious, but that's also lazy analysis and lazy journalism. If you're just saying the only thing that's different, the only variable is Kyrie showed up, and they're just going to forget the fact that you lost 3 or 4 really good players, defenders as well, and not see that they're trying to get away from that offense. So they're trying to change. They're trying to build the plane as they're flying it. So it's real lazy if people just look on the outside looking in and say, well, on the surface, Kyrie's showing up and he got a reputation, so it has to be Kyrie.
I was talking to one of the guys on the network, and he was blaming Kyrie, and I was pretty much saying the same thing he was saying, and I was like, yes, Kyrie did not do everything squeaky clean when he's in Brooklyn. I mean, he had his fault, but I cannot blame Kyrie Irving on this at all. Me personally, I don't believe Luca is at the point of his career where he's ready to say, you know what, I'm gonna take the ball out of my hand. That I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
stop being so dominant. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can just tell that he loves the ball in his hand,
Yeah.
and like you said, the defense, they're big men. Let's look at a Christian Wood. He's a great guy on offense. He can give you some numbers, but he's not guarding nobody. He's not going to be a guy that's going to give you a double double or anything like that. He can't like if he's going against Jokic, he's gonna get ate up. He's gonna get ate up by most men, big men in the NBA. Dwight Powell, he can only do so much. He's not that big of a guy. You let Smith go in a trade, one of your best perimeter defenders. You let him go. You Spencer Dinwiddie. He was a guy that was willing to play defense, but he's also a guy that was able to play behind Luca. He wasn't a guy that was going to demand as many shots as you would like a Kyrie Irving to take as well. Um, the Dallas Mavericks problem is the fact that they let Jalen Brunson go. That was a guy that they should have found a way. But he was even another guy that was not willing. That was tired of that type of offense as well. He was tired of
Yeah.
just standing in the corner, letting
Yeah.
Luka do what he do, give him the ball as well. So
Nobody wants to play in that offense, man.
mm,
Nobody wants to play in that offense.
yeah, so Luca, man, he's going to have to this offseason have to change his mindset, changes the way that the style of play, or if not, he's going to be miserable in Dallas. There's not going to be a lot of players. You already in a for some reason a market that nobody comes in free agency for some reason. So that's going to
Well,
be.
well, well. Look, this is the deal. Star players don't want to be in a system where they got to watch one other player dominate the ball like that. That's why Kawhi didn't want to go play with LeBron. That's why Kevin Durant didn't want to go play with LeBron. Right? Nobody wants to be in that type of offense where one guy's dominating the ball and everyone's sitting around setting screens for him or waiting for a catch and shoot. Like their offense is so bad, they can't even play because when you play that offense, you need the paint wide open. So you cannot use a
Mhm,
big man that wants to be down low. So they paid JaVale McGee to show up in free agency, made a bunch of promises to him to say he was going to start and get PT. And then they
mhm,
show up and they realize that, oh man, we can't play him with Luka because Luka need the paint wide open. So you got
mhm,
JaVale McGee, who is the answer to all your rim protection issues you're having right now and your rebounding issues. And you can't even play him because he can't work with Luka in that play style. Right. So that's
mhm,
one thing that was the issue. Then you got Porzingis last year who had to get traded because he didn't want to sit at the 3-point line and never get any post ups and never getting offense ran for him and just shoot threes all day. Like that's why he works so well with average to below average players because average players mentality wise don't mind standing in the court and waiting on their shot,
mhm.
right? So when you get a star like Kyrie there, nah, we're gonna play something better than this. I've been in championship offenses, and we run a more highly sophisticated offense than this 5-man out high screen and roll Luka central offense. You got to get with the program, and like I said, he's having withdrawal symptoms, and he gonna have to get with the program.
Man, you're absolutely right. I was, and I really wanted to turn this episode where I was teaching you, but we agreed on a lot of the things,
Yeah,
especially on that because, like I said, now maybe as long as Luca, hey, a lot of times you got to take growing pains. So it might take
yeah.
him a few years of getting bounced out at the playoffs, not making the playoffs for him to wake up or open his eyes, or maybe he just need a strong coach to come down there and they thought Jason Kidd might have been it, but right now everything's up in the air in Dallas right now.
The strong coaches get fired around players like that. You see, Rick Carlisle's gone. They had a GM get fired as well. The thing that the history doesn't show that once you put a player in that system that they want to come out, they're not going to come out easily. It's going to take a lot of look for Westbrook to come out of that system. He had to get traded away from OKC, go over to Houston and watch Harden run it, and then realize that didn't work, and then go to daggone the Wizards Kind of did it a little bit with Bill, and then coming to LA, and that's what pulled him out of it, right? And Harden, he had to lose so many times in Houston, and we realized this offense don't beat great offense. Like, I can't take this offense. It don't matter how many players I put around me. I tried Dwight Howard, he left, he didn't like it. I tried Eric Gordon. I mean, he stayed for a while. I tried Carmelo, he didn't like it. I tried CP3, he didn't like it. I tried Westbrook. Like, he's tried so many number twos to work in this system with him, and they never stay long because no one likes playing like that. Nobody likes playing like that.
Would you like to see Ami and Udoka in Dallas?
See who?
Ami Udoka in Dallas
As a coach?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what is he gonna do?
Well, I'm just saying, strong voice, a guy that's not. I don't believe he's gonna put up with a lot of,
whoever is going to tell Luka that you're not the point guard no more. You're a 6'8", 230-pound small forward, and I want you to go sit down and watch the Boston Celtics play and watch everything that Paul Pierce do, because that's your prototype. You're a big body small forward that you can kill in the post if you wanted to, and every now and then, if we need a bucket, I can let you do a little bit of ISO. But you're not my point guard. I had a pure point guard in Jalen Brunson. Even rewind it back further than that. We drafted a point guard from NC State by the name of Dennis Smith Jr. He had a good rookie season, and then we drafted Luka and saw that he couldn't play off the ball, but he also had really good skills with the ball. And we traded Dennis Smith Jr. for Porzingis so we can let Luka be the point guard, right? That's not turning out right for you. And everyone told me the only reason why he's ball dominant is because he don't have another point guard. Well, they bought in Trey Burke. Trey Burke was a baller. He couldn't play point guard. They had Trey Burke at 6'1" playing shooting guard because they wanted that 6'8" point guard Luka to be the point guard, which makes no sense because he can't guard point guards. Then you got rid of Trey Burke, and then you get Brunson out of the draft. Brunson can't even play point guard with Luka, no matter what he did. Then you get rid of Brunson, and then you bring Kemba Walker in. That didn't work. It don't matter what point guard you get. Now you got Kyrie Irving. It don't matter what point guard you get. They're still letting Luka run the point, and that's their issue. When Dallas takes Luka off the point, that's when I know they're serious about winning.
My man brought a lot of great points, and I can't argue with it. And don't get me wrong, I love Luka. I love him. He's a killer, but you got to change, like I said, you got to change the style of play.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell. And it kind of reminds you, especially back in the day, of Chris Paul. Chris Paul used to be another one that used to just dribble the shot clock out, especially when he was with the Clippers. Even though, he was fond of him in time, but still, it just didn't lead to winning. But, man, hey, I really appreciate you for coming on tonight, man. I know, it's late out here where I'm at. It's not late where you are because you out there on the West Coast. But man, it was definitely fun having you on, brother. You're welcome anytime, and it's always fun talking sports with you.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate the invite, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys have a great night. Make sure you guys follow Man Down Sports. Make sure you guys follow the Sports Empire Network and check out all the great content. You guys have a great rest of your night.